All right, welcome in. It's time for Total Bases. This is your go-to show for detailed Major League Baseball betting breakdowns. Of course, this will be for Monday, June 22nd. Before we get into it, let's go around the horn, talk about the weekend because we don't see you guys on Sunday. Although one guy sees you on Sunday. Tokyo Brandon, I did catch some of your Sunday show yesterday. It was fantastic.
Thank you.
Great job. I think you went for 90 minutes. So shout out to you. How was your weekend?
Yeah, it was good. Mostly won, especially KBO was good profit. Overall good. Not like I didn't like bang out 15 units or anything, but I think I grinded out about 6+ units over the weekend. So can't complain. And I did do the Sunday MLB show by myself. Almost lost my voice towards the end, but yeah, it was successful. There were no like weirdos giving stupid comments and stuff. They were all pretty positive and good. And it was Father's Day. So yeah, can't complain.
Yeah, I hope all the dads had a good Father's Day out there. Bryan Leonard, last time I spoke to you, you were coming off of a totals 5% win that was over by about the 6th inning. So did your weekend go as good as your Friday did is the question.
Yeah, 6-2 overall. I guess number one the last 3 days over at WagerTalk. I can't complain. Didn't have anything big yesterday, smaller plays, but yeah, small plays and bigger plays seem to be working out. Seeing the card very well right now, and hopefully we can bring you some winners on the show.
Yeah, 1-2 weekend for me. One my only game. Yes, Tokyo Brandon, I will get to your 5% play in just a second.
Sorry.
Uneventful somewhat weekend for me. 1-0 on Saturday, 0-2 on Sunday. Really, yesterday was like my first kind of like bad day in a while. I still had a very good week, and I come into play 105 and 80. That's 56.7% plus 39.52 units on the baseball season. So in the grand scheme of things, I can't complain. We're in a good spot, being as it's the third week in June, and we're here to try to to try to just find winners on a daily basis, give you good information, and in hopes that you'll give us a shot over at the WagerTalk site where you can get all of our plays, and that includes Tokyo Brandon's 5% Major League Baseball play that goes tonight. So TB, I'm going to come to you to kick us off our feature game tonight. So also, if you're new to the show, we don't script this at all. We talk about the games that you guys put into the chat, with the only exception, national TV dictates the first game we talk about tonight. That's Braves Padres out west. ESPN has this game. So Tokyo Brandon, tell us about your 5% play tonight, and also kick us off on Braves Padres.
Yes, I do have a 5% play, and I've coupled that with a 4% play in a package. It's up on wagertalk.com. You can get a double play, 2 of us 3. And it's a huge discount for 3 days. It's only $59. So grab a double play. It's great value. So yes, I do have a 5% play today. It is one that I really like. A lot of good spots and a lot of good players that I like to target in this particular game. And it seems like the stars are aligning. So I like it, but it's not this one that we're talking about first, which is going to be the Braves and Padres. The Padres are a team that I don't touch right now because they burn me every single time. Padres and the Mariners, I seem to have really bad luck betting those teams. I'm sure you guys, you bet thousands of games per season. I'm sure you have teams that you just refuse to touch. You can tell me what those teams are in just a minute, but the Padres are mine, man. They just beat me up every time. But I will give you my thoughts on this game. My numbers are screaming Atlanta here, but I'm not going to do it because number one, because San Diego is my albatross, and number two, Atlanta is hitting 27th in Major League Baseball right now. That's considering the names in their lineup. I mean, if you put these two lineups together, you got some guys who can mash, man. You got Tatis, Machado. You got a lot of guys who can mash. Olsen. I mean, it's amazing that these two lineups, according to my recent form rankings, are both 20 or worse in hitting, which is kind of weird. They both have good, slightly above average bullpens. And I do like King, but something seems off with him. He's not pitching like he was last season. So can't complain about a 3.60 ERA in today's baseball, but Watching him, something seems off. Doesn't seem like he was last year, where he's kind of dominating off and on. If anything, I would play Atlanta here, but I won't. But those are my thoughts.
Yeah, Brian, let's get you in on this one. I've kind of noticed what Tokyo Brandon just kind of said about the Padres. I've noticed over the last couple of weeks they've dipped into the El Paso talent pool probably more than they would have liked over these last couple of weeks. Like all of a sudden, when you're the Padres and your lineup starting to look, and I don't want this, no shade here. Samad Taylor's a good player, right? But like, and he's actually been half decent since being called up. But like, suddenly it's like Will Wagner's in the lineup, Taylor, the catcher Hunt that got called up the other day. That to me was like, you think of the Padres and the last couple of years, and it's been like 1 through 7. It's been like Tatis, Merrill, this lineup doesn't feel like the Padres lineup for the last couple of years. And I think it kind of goes back to what we sort of said at the beginning of the season. At least, this is a team for me that I thought was one of the more overvalued coming into baseball this year. Maybe they're that. Talk to me about Padres Braves and if you're going to try to bet this game.
Yeah, every game today is on the evening card. First one starts at 6:10 Eastern, so we got plenty of time to make up our minds in these games. As for the weather, the only game in which any wind or anything is going to have an effect to the under would be in St. Louis. Winds blowing in. Problem is, I'm not sure I want to bet on either one of those pitchers in that game. So they are getting 8.5 total. But here we've got Holmes and King. It's basically a pick 'em with a total of 7.5. In yesterday's game, obviously Bryce Elder didn't have it, so he didn't go long. And they brought in Ronaldo Lopez. He threw 58 pitches, and he saved the bullpen. That was a key game in which having a guy come into the bullpen and just take it for the team, that really helps them out the rest of the way. So that was key in that game there because got Iglesias and Suarez have not pitched now in the last 2 games. Dylan Lee did get yesterday off through 28 pitches the previous 2 games. But those are some key guys in this bullpen with the Fuentes. And they've got some guys that are pitched very well. So even if the starter doesn't have what they need out of this one in Grant Holmes, at least they've got a full bullpen to use in this game as well. And, yeah, I feel a little bit about the same way as you did about these 2 lineups. You mentioned San Diego's. Atlanta's top of the lineup is still very good, but they've got guys 7, 8, 9 that you wouldn't have to want to start in Major League Baseball. As for Will Wagner, when he was with Toronto, I kind of liked him. But, yeah, he's a guy that is probably going to – he's not what you want to use as a DH in Major League Baseball. He's a guy that can pick up that 8th or 9th spot in the lineup, but in reality, he's not a big home run hitter or anything like that. So we've got 2 teams in this game in what is a pretty good pitcher's park. And if I play anything, it will be the unders. As I said, neither team is that red hot right now, and the tops of the lineups are getting thinner and thinner. So, yeah, it's a little bit lower than what I would want to play at 7.5, but you're only laying 110. Somehow it gets up to 8. Yeah, I'll play the 8 under, but right now, just an opinion on the under in this game.
Yeah, and I think one other thing that I think TV's analysis kind of points out, but should be noted when you're looking at the Padres. I named a couple guys that are maybe 4A type players like a Samad Taylor or Will Wagner, but the much bigger talking point here is the fact you start going down the list. Jackson Merrill, OPS is 636. Manny Machado, OPS is 625. Fernando Tatis, OPS is 707. Xander Bogaerts, OPS 654. I mean, these are like guys that, you're talking like all-star caliber major leaguers that the Padres have essentially built their team around. Not one of them has an 8. The only guy in yesterday's starting lineup that has a higher than 800 OPS at the big league level this year is Samad Taylor in a limited sample size. That's kind of like, there's your sort of that, like, so yeah, you want to talk about playing unders when it comes to the Padres. No one is hit for this team. And on the flip side, to Brian's point, I kind of like Michael King. Michael King's a guy that had a really rough spring, didn't have a great first couple starts of the regular season. I feel like the market sort of moved on him but he's always sort of he's always thrown his name in the ring his hat in the ring, in my opinion, when it comes to like kind of like a fringe ace. Like I'm still kind of higher on Michael King than I think the market is. But I don't really want to bet the Padres. I haven't wanted to bet the Padres all year. So Brian, I'm going to jump on the, I'll say under as well. I have a lot of opinions on the slate today. This was not one of the games that I have a super strong opinion on, but if I had to, I think I'd go under there with you on that. All right, let's jump into the chat. Let's see. Good Monday slate. 13 games on a Monday. Gotta love that. It's not something we always get. Sometimes Monday is the travel day. And let's go here. I'm gonna just take all right, Mason. Let's see. Let's go to Mason Kelly. This is a game I'm very interested in, actually. So, Brian, I'm gonna come right back to you. I've now lost the comment. Oh, it's on our screen. Okay, never mind. It's on the screen. Mason Kelly said Mason Pelkey. I got a little dyslexic this morning. I don't even know if that's how you say that word. You can't read the screen. Mason Pelkey says Blue Jays versus Astros, first 5 under 3.5. Brian, you could talk about the first 5. You could talk about the full game. Under, it makes sense very briefly looking at this. You got Dylan Cease, who's a guy that I think typically is someone that you'd gravitate toward the under with. And on the other side is Hunter Brown. So a pretty good pitching matchup. This is Astros up north against the Jays today. How are you seeing this one?
Yeah, Toronto's about a 120 favorite here with a total of 7 to the over or 7.5 to the under. And I've talked about this Houston Astros offense. They've got a few guys on this team that are good, but the bottom of the order has been lousy. At least they got Andrew Diaz back. He's a decent hitter. He hadn't gotten off to a very good start this year, but you're looking at the bottom of the order: Cam Smith, Luperfido, Jake Myers. First half with Pena Alvarez and Walker and Paredes isn't bad. He's a guy that pulls the ball a lot and can get home runs. They're pretty good, but the back half of that lineup is not something I'm really interested in. Hunter Brown looked good since coming back from his injury, and that's always a concern. It's still early. He's only pitched by one time. But they still have Mike Burrows in the starting rotation, and that makes it pretty ugly. And now Arrighetti is starting to get some of that negative regression that we expected. So Hunter Brown's clearly the ace of this team. From a bullpen standpoint, Hader and King have only pitched 1 out of the last 4 days. Same with Abreu. And De Los Santos has not pitched in the last 4 days. So I do like the bullpen for them, and they're going up against a Toronto team who I like the bullpen for this team as well. And you've got Dylan Cease on the mound. Dylan Cease right now is the number 10 ranked Major League Baseball starter this year. The last 2 weeks, number 5. He's been very hot as of late, and with having Sunday off, they're in really good shape in the bullpen too. So I like both bullpens. And so I like the under in this game. The problem is, how do I play it? Well, I don't know if I want to play the first half under. Let me see, just make sure what it is here. It's sitting there at 3.5. It was 4. There is a 4 minus 120 out there at one place, but just about everybody else has 3.5. It's tough going under 3.5. I prefer the 4 in that regard. So if you do like the under in this game, I could see the entire game. Like I said, there's still 7.5s out there at under 20. Love the starting pitchers, especially if Brown is healthy, and definitely love the bullpens here. So, yeah, somewhat lean with Toronto, and I wouldn't have a problem with the over in the full game. I think that's a better deal than it is in the first half.
TB, Blue Jays, Astros to you. Anything first 5 or full game?
Yeah, I have Shane Bieber listed as a starter in one of the websites, but is he going to be an opener?
He probably tomorrow. Yeah, he's going to be coming back from injury. I think he would have pitched today, but the Jays got rained out yesterday, so they're just moving everything back a day.
Okay, got it. So Cease is going to see the majority. If you go to my Twitter, X Tokyo_Brandon, I've put up my strikeouts and my outs projections, and Hunter Brown tops the list in not top of the list, but he's in top 3 on both of those lists. So very solid pitcher. Very little action so far this season. So is he ready or not is really the only question, because if he's ready, he is an absolute stud. His numbers against these Blue Jays in his career, absolutely stellar. The question is, has he had enough reps to be his normal self? Cease has been pitching all season. I don't think he's been injured at all. So he's going to be there for the going. I have both lineups ranked 21, and I have both starting pitchers on a curve of 30. I have both of them ranked 4. So straight up very even, except bullpen. I think Brian mentioned bullpen usage. Astros are in pretty good shape, and I got their bullpen ranked number 4, where I got Toronto's ranked 22. So that's the big discrepancy I see here. I cannot disagree with a first 5 under, but 3.5 is pretty skimpy. I mean, this is Major League Baseball, man. A bleep and a bloop and a blast, and your under is shot in 10 seconds. So I don't bet under 3.5, generally speaking, unless we've got, Wheeler going against Ohtani or something like that. But this is close to that elite matchup. If, like Brian said, if it's 4, I would love an under. Or I might think about a Toronto Blue Jays team total under, even if it's 3.5. I could live with that. I think that would be a good bet.
So last week on this show, I'll tie this into the Jays game real quick. Last week on the show, right around this time, I came on. I said Marlins to make the playoffs plus 950 is a really good bet. Harped on that for like 2 days, even when they were getting their teeth kicked in by the Phillies. That is now down to plus 450. So if you listened to me last week, that one is looking good relative to what the price was last week. I'm going to throw another one out here. I think it is time to buy the Toronto Blue Jays. I've said this on multiple times over the past month and a half. And I talked about this early in the season when Cody Ponce went down, when they had all those injuries. I was like, listen, they're a short-term sell. We're going to come back at some point in the year and want to buy this team. But right now they're going through it, and you got to let them sort of battle through it. The Jays, to their credit, hung around during that time with Kirk was out, with all the injuries to the pitching. They hung around. They come into play today, a game under 500, 38-39. Like you said, Tokyo Brandon, Shane Bieber's on his way back. They're collectively healthier from a pitching standpoint. The bullpen looks better. They've got, like, Kirk is back. I think they're going to call up a guy named Sean Keys sooner than later, who's played 15 games in AAA and has a 1.006 OPS. He's absolutely destroying the ball. In my opinion, he should be up over McAdoo, the guy they called up last time. So I think that you could add to your portfolio Blue Jays plus 900 to win the American League, or some of these sites are offering Blue Jays to reach the LCS. That's plus 400. That might be the better bet, because then it's like, to reach the LCS, if they don't have to go through the Yankees, maybe they do, maybe they don't, but still, just 4-1 to get to the championship series in that American League. I don't see many great teams in the American League. Why not the Blue Jays? How am I going to tie it back into here? Because I think Dylan Cease he's their ace. He's their best pitcher. He's the guy that I want to back when I get the price to do so. And here you're getting the price to do so. I don't care that it's Hunter Brown on the other side. The Jays are the better team. It's the time to buy is now. And they had the off day yesterday, which means the bullpen is fresh. They got to jump on getting back across the border. As soon as that game got rained out in Chicago, they're on their way home, waiting for the Astros. This might be my parlay leg. I will be actively looking for spots to back this Blue Jays team, and this might be one of them. So I do like the Blue Jays here. And fire on in those futures to now go with your very good Marlins future if you bet that last week. All right, back to the chat. Let's go to Jean-Pierre. He says, amazing work on a daily basis, fellas, 6 days a week. 7 if you count Tokyo Brandon's solo show yesterday on a Sunday, doing 90 minutes by himself. So shout out to TB. He says, appreciate you 3, but he didn't give us a game. So we appreciate the donations. It's a good time to point out that all the donations to this show go to a good cause, and they go to charity. Whoever the home office picks. So very much appreciate the donations and the support to the show. And I'm going to go back to the chat here and grab a game at random. Let's go. Okay, let's go to Slick Vic. I'm sure this is one people want to talk about. Slick Vic says Tigers Yanks looks like an under. Again, I think you sort of see the pitching matchup, Bryan Leonard, real quick. It's kind of like where your mind probably goes. Oh, Framber versus Garrett Cole. Mm-hmm. Tigers lineup. Yeah, my mind probably goes to an under, just knee jerk when I see this matchup. I think we might have some wind blowing out though in Comerica tonight. And the number is probably a little bit low. So why don't you kick us off with Tigers, Yanks, under, over, and anything you're seeing in this one?
Yeah, they're looking at basically 1% more runs in this game. The wind's blowing from left to right, medium wind. I don't think it's going to have much of an effect on the game. We're looking at the Yankees right now at about a 125 favorite, total of 8.5. Garrett Cole has dominated the the American League Central for years and years. I know as a Cleveland fan, we've suffered many indignities to Garrett Cole over the years, and he's played very well against this entire division, which is why he's favored. And I agree, he should be favored here. Valdez going for Detroit. I think either the under 8.5 is a decent play, or maybe a Detroit team total under, or maybe the Yankees. It's not often you get Garrett Cole on the mound and you're laying 125. I wouldn't have a problem with that. The Yankees, as we spoke about earlier, we thought they would really take a step back offensively without their best player, but they've been very consistent. And I actually met a Yankees fan down here the other day, and he says, yeah, they're playing better without Judge than they had with him. So that they're gaining confidence. We talked about that before. You brought that up, how they struggled when he wasn't in the lineup before, but they're playing pretty well right now. I think Detroit, I don't know what their odds are to win the division, but I'm not giving up on the Tigers. I think they've got some better days ahead. But in this game, I kind of like the Yankees, and I think it's going to be a lower scoring game. So maybe play the Detroit team total under. And right now we're looking at 3.5 under plus 105, something like that. So just an idea, different way to look at this game.
TB, I saw you chatting with some people in the chat. I don't know, did you do your pitcher projections or anything like that today? Curious to see what you're coming up with for Cole and Valdez.
I did do my strikeouts and outs projections, so I'll I guess I can read them off right now. Well, just go look at them on my X. It's Tokyo Underbar Brandon. I got a lot of stuff.
I was trying to set you up for a plug for your Twitter account. So there you go.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Tokyo Underbar Brandon. Just go check it out. I have the outs and strikeouts up there, and both of these guys are on there, I believe. So kind of agree with Brian. Sorry, guys, not to add anything to the mix, but both teams have a top 10 bullpen. Yankees are a couple points higher. Both teams have good pitchers. I have Garrett Cole ranked about 8 points higher than Valdez. Lineup is the biggest difference I see here, where I got Detroit ranked 20 and I got the Yankees ranked 3 right now. And like Brian said, it's pretty amazing that they're playing better without Judge. But losing a player like this for a marathon baseball season can be extremely good for your team morale, because the Yankees are thinking, hey, we can hit like this without our best player. And when Judge comes back, they're even going to be better, right? So, and they'll have guys on the bench who have been starting 50 games who can just come in and plug and play. So gives guys rest as well. So nothing but good stuff I see for the Yankees. My outlook on the Yankees is kind of like your outlook for the Blue Jays, Adam. I think the Yankees are going to be pretty darn good coming down the end here. They'll probably add a piece at the trade deadline as well. So I guess it'd be Yankees or nothing here. Pretty good odds considering Garrett Cole's on the mound, and Framber Valdez's home ERA is much worse than his away ERA for some odd reason. Granted, we're still in June, but some oddities I see there, and that's probably the way I would lean.
Well, TV, that brings up a good point, because, I don't disagree with you. But the Yankees are 46-30. Everyone knows this team is good. That's
Everyone knows
whereas
they're
the
good.
Blue Jays are a game under 500. Now, what I think that the point to be made here is something you bring up all the time. You rarely can you find a good spot to bet the Yankees where you're not paying like an egregious what you have coined the Yankee tax, right? It's similar to the Dodgers. Almost when these teams are good, Yankees, Dodgers, you can even sometimes throw the Cubs in the mix, but let's just keep it to Yankees and Dodgers because the last 5 years this has been the example basically every year. It's so rare that you're going to get a spot to back them with a matchup that's reasonable at a price that's playable. Amazingly, today, I think is a fair, I don't think you are overpaying to back the Yankees here. I think minus 125, minus 130 with Cole on the mound is actually pretty reasonable. I don't think this is like one of the rare occurrences. I'm actually surprised that's not minus 150. If I'm being honest, I think this should probably be Yankees more like minus 135, minus 140, minus 145. And I'll go back to what I said last week. You take Gleyber out of this Tigers lineup for a little bit. Like this was not a team. This Tigers team did not hit for 2 months. They got Gleyber Torres and Kerry Carpenter back for like a week or two, started hitting the ball. Now Gleyber no longer in the lineup. Carpenter it's fine, but like I still don't think this is a great Tigers lineup. And you're getting Garrett Cole here. Like you're still getting the Yankees coming off 2 losses this weekend where they kind of got outplayed by the Reds the last 2 days. I never say this. Like I kind of love the Yankees today. It is so rare for me to say that, not because I'm a Yankee hater. I don't care. I don't care about any of these teams, but because it's so rare to find a playable number on the Yankees. Minus 125, minus 130, very playable. If you're like someone that's like, man, I can never find a good spot to bet the Yankees, today's your chance, in my opinion. All right, let's keep it going. Let's go back to so Omni. First of all, Omni Syndicate, very much appreciate the donation. We opened the show with a full breakdown of Braves Padres, so I will point you to the replay, which at any time you can get on the WagerTalk YouTube channel. You can watch this show on demand. And for the first 10 minutes of the show, you'll find us talking about Braves Padres. So head on over there for that. I'm going to go to Alex Ram, who also donated. Again, much appreciate all the support, the donations to the show. He says, morning, gentlemen. Always appreciate the great work. Can we talk Diamondbacks, Cardinals? So I'll go back to Bryan Leonard. Kick us off with this one. D-backs, Cards. What do you got here?
All right. Like I said earlier, it's expected to be a little bit lower scoring because of the winds blowing left to right and in a little bit. We have got Arizona's Kelly against St. Louis and Palante. Palante is about a 135, 140 favorite here, total of 8.5. I think that says more about Merrill Kelly than it does about Palante. But you've got a St. Louis team that continues to impress, but the lines are a little bit higher than what we had to deal with earlier in the season where we all made our money. Kelly, as was pointed out a few times here, he may be on his last legs here. I thought he, coming back from injury, he would pitch a little bit better than he has. He's pitched pretty well in a couple games, but consistency just hasn't been there. So if I'm looking to play this game, I would look the St. Louis route, but do I really want to lay, 140 with St. Louis at home here? I don't think I'm going to get there. Unfortunately, this is a game that I don't have much of an opinion on, and so I won't take up any more of the time of the show.
Tokyo Brandon, I've said for a week, a little bit over a week now, that the Cardinals were a team that I felt like was starting to get overvalued, was sort of looking for spots to play against them last week. I haven't really changed my opinion on that totally, but I don't want to play Merrill Kelly, who, if I reference the list that I pulled up last week on the show, expected batting average, you can find that on Baseball Savant. You can find a lot of great things on that website. Merrill Kelly's way down there on the expected batting average. He's up around 300. I sort of have called 300 as you're almost in auto fade territory at this point. I think it's been sort of priced in here, but that's I don't think I could back the D-backs on the road with Kelly on the mound. So probably Cardinals or pass for me. We'll let you finish this one up. Cardinals, D-backs. How are you seeing this one?
Yeah, guys, I got a 5% play out. These guys are going to have lots of stuff out. They've already mentioned that they like what they're seeing on the card today. Grab a double play. 2 of the 3 of us for 3 days, a huge discount. Or you can get one person for 3 days for the 6 days for the price of 3, or 30% off. Lots of deals at WagerTalk. So go to wagertalk.com and see what is available, including my big bang 5% play. Merrill Kelly is washed. So he just looks awful. And anyone can look at his stats and say those are bad, but just watching him, something's not right. And they're going to keep trotting him out there for how long? I don't know. But if he gets getting smashed like this, they're going to have to, well, you can't send a guy like him down, right? But they're going to have to sit him or something because he just looks horrible. Palante is a guy who's looking pretty good, but he has terrible stats against these batters in his career, especially against Carroll. Carroll has absolutely smashed him. Perdomo gets to him as well. So I would love to say I like the Cardinals because they have a better team, but the Diamondbacks actually rank higher than the Cardinals in bullpen, and they actually rank higher than the Cardinals in hitting in current form. So a lot of conflicting data, so I will stay away from this game like the plague.
Go ahead, Brian. Sorry, you go back to you.
Yeah, I just wanted to touch the reason why they don't send him down right now is because they just had to send down Ryan Nelson and Michael Soroka for injuries. That leaves them pretty shorthanded in that regard. I will say both of these teams, the top of the orders, are hitting pretty well right now, and I'm not enamored with either one of these starters. So I've had some pretty good luck on these yes score in the first inning, and that might not be a bad bet in this one if you're looking to play that. The total's 8.5, so it's basically they're expecting a run every other inning. So yeah, it's something that I'd be interested in. You take a look at the top 4 guys in the Arizona lineup: 38th, 130th, 20th, and 97, and the top 3 guys in the St. Louis are all in the top 100. So yeah, first inning to score a run in this is probably the best that I can manage out of this game.
Yeah, I could probably get behind an over. My numbers last week kept pointing toward overs in Cardinals games, most of which came in. I can't put you off any sort of bet against Merrill Kelly. Just to people forget how old he is, like because his MLB career started so late. He's going to be 38 in October. A lot of people don't realize that because he was in Korea for a while. He didn't. I don't think he made his MLB debut till he was about 29 years old. He's getting up there in age. 38 in October for Merrill Kelly. Just to quantify some of Tokyo Brandon's just straight up said Merrill Kelly is washed. Period. I'm going to give you some stuff to quantify that. The expected, so he is in the bottom 1%. So the absolute worst in Major League Baseball. Expected ERA is 7.51. Expected batting average is 309. And barrel percentage is the worst in Major League Baseball. His strikeout percentage is in like the bottom 2%. Let's put it this way. If he was like anyone else, or like if he was a non-tenured player in this league, he'd probably be, the team might have cut him already for how poorly he's pitched this year. Like, could he have the Kevin Costner start here for the love of the game where it's like, he's taking he's randomly got a no-hitter into the 9th inning? I don't even know if I could see that at this point. I got to be honest. I've said this every time he's come up to pitch. I just don't see how you could do anything other than fade him. Even with the Cardinals here, see, the problem is you're definitely overpaying to back the Cardinals just on the money line. In my opinion, I think you'd probably have to try to play overs, maybe team total over. I don't know. Listen, if you think Palante is going to give up some runs to the Diamondbacks, I think it's a no-brainer over. That's how you got to play it.
Can I mention one thing? Kelly's stats against these batters really good in his career, but those are all probably from 2012. So that's the problem. And St. Louis is actually, their bullpen's playing really poorly right now. So yeah, over. Now that you mention it, I think an over might be a decent play.
Yeah, and they just their bullpen got themselves into a situation that they probably didn't need to get into yesterday. They had a huge lead in that game, and suddenly it's 12-10. The Royals at the time run at second. They have to go to their closer, and it ends up being like a high stress like situation that now they have to come and play after that. So yeah, interesting one right there. I'm going to circle back to Omni. And Brian, I'll come back to you for this game. He did throw a game in there, and he did donate, so we want to get to his game. And it's a team that I know you're going to want to talk about because it is your Cleveland Guardians. They are going to hit the road to the Windy City, the South Side, to take on the White Sox tonight. Big divisional battle in the AL Central. Guardians, White Sox to you.
Good, because I'm planning on using this one as my play of the parlay today, so it works out well. We got Gavin Williams against Anthony Kay. Kay, the lefty, going for the White Sox. It's basically a pick 'em. You're looking at Cleveland at basically minus 108, minus 110, with a total of 8 here. Neither team offensively is really in a nice run right now. Cleveland's is obvious because they're missing so many good hitters in this lineup. I will say Gavin Williams, if you take a look at his last 2 starts, they weren't overall impressive. But I went back and looked at his starts this year, where he has had a 5 or higher WFIP, fielding independent pitching. That's a good number I like to look at for pitchers. And when he gives up, he has one of those where it's a 5 or higher, he's pitched shutouts in each of his last 2 outings. He has not. His last 2 couple games, I think, it was like a 4.5, and then last time out of 5. I expect him to bounce back here, and he's doing so against the Chicago team. These are divisional rivals that know each other very well. I expect Williams to have a really strong game here. Anthony Kay, I also like, and the only problem is the bullpen for Chicago had a lot of their key arms has had to pitch a lot the last 2 days. So what I'm going to look at is I'm going to look at the first 5 in this game, and there is 4.5 out there if you want to lay like a 130, but you can get the first 5 under 4 at plus 100, plus 105. Those are all over the place. So let's play the first 5, Cleveland and the Chicago White Sox, under 4 at plus 100.
All right, TB, Guardians, White Sox to you. Do you agree? Anything with the total? And do you have anything on the side here?
Yeah. Looking at this one, the White Sox have the better current form lineup, 19, and I got the Guardians 28. And I got the White Sox bullpen playing a little better too at 14 and Guardians 23. But pitching is a huge advantage for the Guardians in this one. I don't like Kay. I liked him in Japan. He was pretty good out here for the Yokohama Bay Stars, but I don't like him since he's come back to MLB. He's got some really weird numbers. Against these Guardians, he the average is over 300, but the OPS is under 700. So it makes no sense. They're hitting him like crazy, but they're not long balls, I guess. He's giving a lot of singles to him. I guess that's what that tells me, but I don't like him. I think the Guardians bounce back here. My numbers tell me to take the Guardians over 3.5 on their team total. Might be a good one. Man, their bats are just not producing right now. So hard to, I never like to bet like they're due kind of thing. I like to bet a streak until it's over. But if anything, I'd take the Guardians over 3.5, I guess, but I probably won't do it.
Yeah, this is a tricky game for me. Obviously, I've been very pro White Sox this year. They're a team that I found was like really undervalued, and even now, like that the market has come around on them a little bit. They didn't have the best week last week. Didn't play well in New York. They blew a couple of the games in that Tiger series. So I do sort of want to like buy them now that they're back home. But also TB, I'm kind of on the fence with Anthony Kay now as well. Coming into this year, I really liked him. The expected ERA and listen, if I'm going to come on and just trash Merrill Kelly for like having such a poor expected ERA and expected batting average, I got to be fair. Like I can't pick and choose, right? That must mean I that must mean I have to think similarly of Anthony Kay being bottom 10% in both of those metrics. Expected ERA is 5.64, expected batting average 279. I thought he was going to come in with this nice pitch mix and really have hitters fooled, but he isn't striking guys out. Hasn't really he hasn't gotten, like, he's getting it swing and miss, but he doesn't get the strikeout, which tells me he just doesn't have that like put away pitch in the big leagues, like that really good strikeout out pitch. But Brian, I can't really the Guardians are not a team that I expect to just put up crooked numbers at this point. And one thing I will say is I have very much come around on Gavin Williams. Like he's a stud. And so I can't disagree with your under. And that's kind of part of the reason I'm not. I will probably find a spot to play the White Sox in this series. It's just not going to be here. So Brian, just to confirm one more time, you're going Guardians, White Sox, first 5 under 4 for the parlay.
Under 4 plus 100. And just to touch on, having the OPS means they're just getting singles against him. Here's the middle of the Cleveland order. Third, Brian Rocchio, light hitting shortstop who was batting number 9 for most of the season. Rhys Hoskins, a guy, he's a veteran, 33-year-old veteran, has not done anything with Cleveland all season long. Daniel Schneemann batting right after that, and Gabriel Arias. That's your middle of the order guys for Cleveland right now, and that's not going to get you many home runs.
All right, Tokyo Brandon, I'm curious. Do you know where you want to go for the parlay? And then we'll get to the chat questions, but I want to get your parlay leg first.
Actually, I'm going to do my parlay leg in what the chat's asking for. So we just got a super chat from Jean-Pierre asking for the Dodgers Twins. So I'll cover this game, and I will do my parlay in this. By the way, Omni, thank you. You were a prolific commenter in my stream yesterday. Appreciate it. So let's take a look. We got Zebulon going against Eric Lauer. Eric Lauer, not a guy I particularly like. And actually, I have the Twins ranked number 4 in run production in current form, where I got the Dodgers 15. The Dodgers looked very listless against the Orioles. Just didn't look good. But they do have a decent bullpen. I think Trinan's out now, but that probably helps him because he looked like garbage. So both bullpens pretty decent. Zebby's not very good. I think this is going to be an over here. I don't like Zebulon's numbers against the Dodgers, and I don't like Eric Lauer at all. Matter of fact, if you look at Zebby Matthews' last few starts, he either gives up 7 or he gives up 2. So he's going to give up either 7 or 2 today. I think the Dodgers are a little ticked off how they played against the Orioles. They're going to just come out and bash today. And the Twins have been bashing almost every day. So I like the over in this one. Dodgers are dealing with some bullpen injuries, and I think this one's going to go over. That'll be my parlay leg. I believe it's 8.5. I believe. Sorry. Yes.
Brian, what are you seeing for Dodgers Twins total?
Yes, it's 9.5 across the board, minus 105 to the over.
Ooh, 9.5.
I like
high.
it.
I'll take it.
I still like it at 9.5. I mean, TB, I pretty much
Zebulon, by the way.
His name is Dan. Okay, his name is Daniel. His middle name is Zebulon. But listen,
it's a Jewish name, right? Something like that.
I don't know the significance of the name, and I'll tell you right now. If it was like Dan Matthews on the mound, I probably would have already forgot who it was. The fact that it's Zebby, I mean, you got to roll with Zebby. It's a much better big league name. If I ever have children, I don't have children yet. If I ever have children, you rest assured I will be naming them with something I could see in a big league lineup. Like that is, I will be manifesting them as a big league ball player by giving them a name that I think I could see on the lineup card. Dan Matthews? No. Can I see Zebby Matthews pitching in the big leagues? Yes. So there you go. Brian,
Adam,
Zebby
if you
Matthews,
ever have children, they're going to come out of the womb talking.
Listen, I just hopefully their baseball career goes better than mine did. That's all I can hope for them. Twins Dodgers to you. How are you seeing this one?
Yeah, I'll keep it short. I'm not going against the Dodgers after they were so embarrassed yesterday. They did not play well in that series against Baltimore. And I actually think the lines makers are undervaluing the Dodgers a little bit, and they're overvaluing Baltimore. Baltimore's now basically a 155, 160 favorite on the road to the Angels. I was on the Angels the last 2 days. This is nice underdogs, and they won both those games. So, yeah, I think Baltimore's overrated. I think the Dodgers are underrated based on that series.
Yeah, I just I very much agree with the over, TB. I was just trying to find my projection. Yeah, I'm at 9.7 runs. A 9.5 is fine. I kind of think the Dodgers show up ready to swing the bats tonight. They played poorly all weekend, and if the Dodgers are score, like I think the Twins are going to do their part to an extent here. I like the way that they've hit the ball. Eric Lauer is someone I'd actually kind of be willing to, in a different setup, I'd be willing to fade the Dodgers, maybe take the 1.5 with the Twins, because I'd be willing to play against Eric Lauer. But here, with the Dodgers having played as poorly as they did, I think I'd rather just root for runs in this one, because I think you're going to get them from both sides. So I think you're on the right track with this game going over. All right, we're going to get one more game in because you guys have crushed it in the chat today. I can't leave the donations hanging. So I know what I'm going to use for the parlay, but we'll go around the horn on this one. Roberto Acosta says, Orioles, Angels, O's coming in hot. So, of course, the reason that the Orioles are hot is they just slapped the Dodgers around for a few days and really should have won on Friday as well. Unlucky to not win. They lost the Friday game 5-6. Believe they had a 5-3 run in the 9th inning in that game. Choked it away, and then still came back and played good enough to win on Saturday and Sunday. So, yeah, the Orioles had a great weekend. Now they go across town to face the Angels. Brian, I'll come to you first. Roberto wants to know, is this a letdown spot for the suddenly hot Orioles?
Yeah, this is, if you're comparing it to the stock market, you're paying high on the Orioles here. Bradish against Aldeguerri, the lefty. Not a huge fan of his. We're looking at a total of we're basically at 155 at 9. But Baltimore, as was mentioned, they're coming off a great series against the world champion Dodgers. Now they got to go into Angel Stadium and take on a team they're familiar with. They play the American League all the time. The Orioles do. And I just don't trust them here at this price range. Bradish is coming off his best start of the season. And you're paying high for Baltimore. If Baltimore did not go into LA and look as good as they did, this line would be 130. There's no way I'm laying 160, 155, 160 in this matchup. So it would be the Angels or nothing for me.
Yeah, Tokyo Brandon, Angels are nothing for me here too, just based on the price. But I do like the way the Orioles have played. The Orioles are definitely not a fade for me by any means. But I do think the price has gotten a little bit out of hand in what does sort of profile as like a more even game. So Orioles, Angels, do you have anything in this one?
I'll keep it short and sweet because I don't have a strong opinion on this. The Angels are hitting a little bit too well, even without Mike Trout, to be this big of an underdog, in my opinion. My numbers like the Orioles, but I don't, just because of the spot situation. I do not like Aldeguerri, though. So, yeah, I would love to take an Orioles team total here, but because of the letdown possibility, I won't do it. So I'm going to stay off this game, and that's all I have, except I do have a 5% play today. That's all.
Yeah. Yeah. We've gotten, so we should promo a little bit. Tokyo Brandon, 5% play. You can get that on his page. You can also get that as part of a double play package, which you could pair with either myself, with Bryan Leonard. It gets you 3 days at a big discount. TB, I echo your sentiment with Aldeguerri. I think he's more of a AAA guy. I think the Angels have milked him for all they can so far at the big league level this year. He is going to get blown up at some point in his very near future. And I'll tell you what, right now, if he gets blown up here, or even if he doesn't, the Angels used a lot of bullpen over the weekend in that series with the A's. This is like, this is a bad spot for both teams. You know, it could be a letdown spot for the Orioles, but do you really want Aldeguerri with a cooked bullpen here? That's I don't think I want that either. So, yeah, I don't know. I think Could be an over. Yeah, that's a tough one. I will wrap it up. I am going to use the Blue Jays money line to wrap it up for the parlay. Miguel says Marlins to make the playoffs down to 475. Yeah, if you missed it earlier in the show, I talked about wanting to buy this Blue Jays team, taking them to win the American League at 9-1. We had that. Listen, I'll tell you right now. If the World Series is Blue Jays Marlins, like anyone in the chat that wants to go, we'll go to Lone Depot Park. Okay, you have my word, because I'm going to be up so much money if that happens that tickets will be no issue for your boy. So if it's a Blue Jays Marlins World Series, listen, we got a long way to go for that to happen. Anyone in the chat, we'll get over to Lone Depot Park to watch one of those games. I don't know if that's going to happen, but I do think the Blue Jays
there. Sorry, Miami hasn't been there since they had Dontrelle Willis, right?
2003. Listen, the Marlins have got in the Marlins. The both times the Marlins went to the World Series were in years kind of like this, where they were like sort of in the mix for a wild card, and they kind of came out of nowhere. Again, let's not get ahead of ourselves. I'd love to just get them to the playoffs to cash that plus 950. But we're talking about the Blue Jays right now. I think the Blue Jays, I think this is when you buy and you start buying with them. I don't know how long we'll get the prices to do so, but tonight's a fair price. Brian, what am I looking at for a Blue Jays money line right now?
Yeah, I'd like to thank TV for bringing up the Miami against my Cleveland Indians. One of the bright spots in my life.
I actually saw Dontrelle Willis on TV the other day. He's doing play-by-play for
he's announcing on the Major League Baseball Network. Okay, what game are you looking at here?
I just want to know what we have as a fair money line price for the Blue Jays.
Okay, Toronto at the moment, 120. You can get as low as 118, as high as 125. Yeah, 120 is pretty much.
Yeah, listen, we're going to take that. And again, I'll be looking for spots to back the Blue Jays as long as they're going to be priced like this. My gut tells me that as soon as they start winning games, you're not going to see nice prices on the Blue Jays. Like as soon as they get to 5 games over 500, 6 games over 500, they're going to start being priced like they were coming into the year. But for right now, they're still chilling there, a game under 500. You got Dylan Cease at minus 120 at home. Sign me up for that. So that's going to be the third leg of the parlay. That means our parlay today, people are in for now, Brian. Now people are already in for the World Series at Lone Depot Park. Hey, listen, like I said, if it's a Blue Jays Marlins World Series, your boy money's going to be no issue for your boy at that point.
If the Rockies are in the World Series, I will pay for everybody's entire trip. How's that sound?
There you go. Yeah.
Say Miami instead of Rockies and see where you want to put your money if you want to put your money up for that. Miami actually could get there. Like Adam said, it's these kind of seasons where they're just kind of there and beating good teams that they actually made it last time.
That would be great World Series because, Prez and Carmine will probably have some suite in Toronto, and then I'll just
beautiful
flex by taking the whole chat to the games down in Miami. I have a place. my place my family's place in Florida is like 30 minutes from Lone Depot, so that's an easy ballpark for me. Actually very underrated park. I kind of love going to games there. I don't know why it gets the hate it does, but anyway, the parlay for today: Twins Dodgers over 9.5 full game, Blue Jays minus 120 full game, and then Brian is going to go with Guardians White Sox first 5 under 4. That's your 3-teamer today. That's even money, right, Brian? That total on the Guardians?
Even money, yes.
So one more time, we've got Guardians White Sox first 5 under 4 at around even money. Blue Jays minus 120. Twins Dodgers over 9.5 minus 105. That's your 3-teamer for today. Don't forget Tokyo Brandon. It's a 5% play up on his page. The double play package allows you to take 2 of the 3 of us at a big time discount. All of those specials are up at WagerTalk, and the 3 of us will be back tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. for more Total Bases. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. We'll see you guys tomorrow.